For the first time in 60 years, Ohio state psychiatric hospitals had allowed cameras in to film with patients. Most of the men and women I'd be meeting have committed serious crimes, but been found NGRI, not guilty by reason of insanity, and detained not for punishment, but for treatment.
Do you feel guilt over what happened?
No, because I wasn't in my right mind. It wasn't my actions of wanting to do that. It was my illness.
This week I'd be talking to patients attempting to come to terms with their crimes.
I was so powerful, I thought I was psychic and that I could communicate with anybody I wanted to with my mind.
The clinicians entrusted with helping to make them safe.
Do you ever do what the voices tell you to do?
Yeah. If it's clearly a bad idea, I won't listen to them.
And I'd be exploring the difficult question of when a patient with a serious crime in his past is ready for the outside world again. I was at Summit Behavioral Healthcare in Cincinnati, heading to Unit J, home to long-term NGRI patients whose mental health symptoms are largely under control. With me was unit psychologist Dr. Borak.
Jonathan?
We were meeting Jonathan, a forensic patient who'd committed a violent crime against a family member 7 years earlier.
How are you doing? I'm Louis.
Hi, Louis.
Jonathan, nice to meet you. How are you doing today?
Fairly well, thank you for being in the hospital.
Yeah. How long have you been here?
Just over 2 years now.
So the incident was about 7 years ago, is that right?
Yes.
When you were how old?
32.
32. Had you had a history of mental illness before the incident?
Yes, I had. Since about puberty, I had been dealing with symptoms of depression, but for a few years before I killed my father, I had developed delusions that he was responsible for the bad feelings, the depressive feelings I had been having, and that the only way to feel better was to kill him.
So how did it happen that you actually ended up killing your father?
I mean, I went out one day over to his house when I was suspected no one else would be around. I waited till he turned his back, then I drew a knife and attempted to cut his neck.